Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
And good Monday morning, everybody. We're coming in with conspiracy theories that are proven daily. How are you, Pat Malone?
I'm good. Stephen, how are you? Did you have a good weekend?
Yeah, man, we had a good weekend. Glad to be back at it where you can get a little bit of rest where you go back to work. You know how that goes, right?
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, you know.
How was the thing over in North Carolina?
What thing in North Carolina? Oh,
Didn't
the
you
salute to the
see
veterans was absolutely wonderful. Yes, absolutely wonderful. And
big crowds?
Big crowd. I think 4,000 or 5,000 people showed up. And yeah, they had a lot of fun. A lot of cars, planes. It was really cool. Yeah, it was really cool. They had old Crow over there, and the pilot came up and he talked about the planes. And if you missed it this year, don't worry. They're doing it again next year. It's going to be bigger and better next year. They already got plans going out for that. Love talking to the military guys. Just love talking to the military guys. No doubt. Veterans are always. What?
I saw a picture of that P-51. Unfortunately, there was this junk car in the way.
Yeah,
so I didn't see the whole thing.
I snuck in and got some photo ops on that while I was there. Yeah. I think that's what they need to do next year. They need to set up and because they're, they're always taking money in. But if they charge like $5 for a photo of your car with the P-51 or whichever car you want.
There you go.
Man, I'm telling you, they can make some money because everybody want a picture of that. Nope.
Yeah.
No
for
doubt.
Sure.
But it was a good event, and Carl and John, they do good, and it was really good. Yep, and had a lot of fun. The funny thing is, used to everybody would come up to me and they's like, "Man, I just wanted to come meet you because we listen to your show and we have quite a bit of that." This year, everybody that come up, they're like, "We wanted to meet you, but we wanted to ask you: is he as liberal as he sounds on the radio?"
Jeez. How did they know that was coming?
You're more popular than I am right now, man. I'm not kidding you. Everybody's wanting to know, what's the deal with Pat? How do you put up with Pat Malone? What the heck is going on with Pat?
No, wait a minute. It's common sense. It's not liberal. It's common sense.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's a good quote, man.
And I am not kidding you. I guarantee you, I'm not kidding you. This is actually what happened. Everybody would come up, they'd meet me and shake my hand, and the first thing they said, "What is the scoop on Pat Malone?" I said, "Your guess is as good as mine."
Yeah, well.
That's sad.
Go on, tell them the rest.
What's the rest?
Is Packy really as handsome as people say that he is?
Yes,
he is.
Yeah, he's as
Thank you.
I know you're making it up, right?
I'm not. I'm really not. I'll be honest with you. I'm really not. Yeah, and you got these military guys that actually fought for our freedom, and they were like, "What is the scoop with Pat Malone?" Would you like to clarify your stance on America and making America great again?
I think America's always been great. Even in bad times, it's been great.
Well, we're in bad times right now. Do you not think?
We're in difficult times, correct.
Okay,
but
difficult.
I don't see any savior on the horizon, my friend.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't.
Well, the savior's out there, brother. Yep.
Okay.
He's out there.
Right.
Yep. And hopefully he's pulling. I bet you $100 he's going to vote for Trump. Yep. Just my opinion on that. But anyway.
Okay.
Well, let's get to a break because I'd like to recap a little bit of what you and Harry were talking about, and that was what's driving the election and why is everybody going to early voting. I've got a theory on this. I really do. So, we're back with you. Everybody's doing good. I reckon on the first show there, Pat Malone and y'all were discussing what's driving the voters this year. Seemed like we've had a huge turnout. Towns County actually led the early voting on the first day of election, and I think they've actually was the first county in the state of Georgia to actually cross over the 50% margin. Am I telling that right, Pat?
You are telling it correct, and they still lead all 159 counties with the greatest percentage of the vote already in, 58 point something.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them.
Well, no doubt about that. But what do you think is driving this early voting election, which is that's never happened before? Everybody always waits to the last. You really don't. I mean, what's your take on that?
The grassroots, I think, is really energized, and that drives it down to the local parties cheer people.
Right.
Getting the local party excited, doing events, and getting the awareness built up. I think that's really why. I mean, that's why Towns County is where they are. because of Betsy. Now, she didn't do it all by herself, but
Well-
she's got a group of people that are very active in that party and have put on a number of events, and people are reacting to that.
Well, now, okay, we're talking about across the country. It's not just in Towns County. This is nationwide. I mean, we've got more people registering right now as Republicans than they are Democrat nationwide. So I mean, I know she's doing a good job here, but she's not doing anything across the country.
Well, I think it's the same across the country. There are Betsy's all over the country that are energizing the locals. And where that happens, you get big turnouts.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, and this is just
What do you think?
I think voter fraud. I think the being scared of voter fraud because of the day of election, a lot of that stuff has been exposed, and I think a lot of folks are afraid that their vote will not be counted, and I think that's why there's a mass turnout for early voting, which most Republicans don't do, and I really think it comes down to voter fraud. What do you think, Packy?
I would tend to agree with you. I think that once your vote's been cast, I think it could be harder to steal. I guess if the system's working the way that everybody brags that it should, if somebody were to go vote, and steal your vote or mail in a ballot with your name that's in your name,
Right.
they could get it and say, well, you already voted because you did, right? You
Right.
showed up, you already voted. So
you're with me. You think it's voter fraud?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that and fear. I think both sides. I think they're just terrified of socialism and fascism and all these
Right.
words.
I reckon, according to what I've got here, Lancaster, Pennsylvania officials have busted a large scale of fraudulent voter registration scheme that includes thousands of applications with the same handwriting and fake signatures. So now, whether this is true or not, but this is exactly what I'm talking about. People are really worried about voter fraud this year, and I mean,
But doesn't that prove that the voter system works if they caught it?
We can't. That's like saying, do you accept the election results and it hasn't even happened yet? It's like we don't know. We don't know. It didn't work last time.
right?
Well, wait a minute. Last time, I think the Republican candidate told people not to vote early to go on election day.
Right. That's where we screwed up.
That was a mistake, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, we don't know.
You learn from your mistakes. Yep.
Yeah, it'll all, we'll hash through the analysis of the results after November 5th. Well, when we know the results, whether it's the 6th or the 8th or the 10th or whenever.
I think people are really concerned about the way the America's going right now, and it's not going in the right direction. And of course, Harry was out here saying that, Trump's out there saying that Kamala's stupid and she can't run the government and she's dumb, and I'm thinking to myself, yeah, pretty much. What you get? You argue? Anybody gonna argue that with me? I mean, somebody just did it come across.
Yeah, you got mail. Was that the old dial-up?
Yeah, that's my teletop.
Let's recap
you
something.
need to get
She's so
updated,
stupid.
Steven.
Let's
Yeah.
recap something real fast, though. Y'all did talk about in your show
She
earlier.
actually said that he actually said that he was like a Nazi. Remember, she said that he was a Nazi. That's hate. Ain't that hate speech?
Who's that? What? What's that? What's a Nazi?
Kamala Harris is the one that said he's a Nazi.
Who?
That's Trump said Trump was a Nazi. He
What's
was
a
going to make
Nazi?
the military sign a pledge to shoot all us Americans. Did he do that last time, Packy?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think they have.
Didn't he say he would mobilize the military against the American people if he felt it needed?
I didn't remember hearing that.
Yeah, I mean that's like not in the Constitution that he can do that.
Well, and he didn't say he's going to do that. Where did he say that he's going to do that?
J.D. Vance reinforced that the other day too.
Yeah, I think he's going to change the people in charge. Is he not? Where they'll start doing what they're supposed to be doing instead of attacking Trump. That's all we've been doing for the last 8 years. He ain't even been president 5 years, 8 years, however long it is, but 4 years and he ain't even president. And they've still been attacking him instead of running the. Well, they've been running the government in the ground.
Who? I missed you.
Okay, I know.
I lost you
Bless your heart.
someplace. Yeah.
Bless your heart. But I do think
Help,
that
help me out. Explain what you just said.
well, the
Who's he
DOJ.
going to fire?
Okay, he was. Who's he going to fire? Hopefully, he's.
Yeah.
According to Elon Musk, he's going to fire about 85% of the government. Is that not what I'm picking up? Might be more than
He
that.
said 90.
90% of the government. Yep.
Well, that
We're
would
going
be a
to
good thing.
We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook. That's what Elon Musk said.
Okay.
Now,
But
America's
is
not going to
Elon
be
actually-
great.
Is Elon running for something?
He's going to be on the ticket, man. He's going to be in the cabinet. The cabinet.
And what is this story about Elon being an illegal immigrant?
Oh, here we
Really,
go with the
it's
racist
weird.
stuff. Just because he's an African American, you got to jump on that bandwagon, don't you? I'm going to tell you, man, that's just wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Okay. All right. Hey, inquiring minds want to ask.
Well, are you being racist now because he's an African American? Is that where this is going? Is it always got to be a race issue?
No, this doesn't have to be a race issue, Stephen.
So what are you talking about?
He overstayed his student visa.
Bless his heart.
Doesn't that make him an illegal immigrant?
I guess he is.
Okay.
Well, we got all the rest of them in here though, so they'll back him up. Yep.
Okay.
Didn't Trump say that he's all for the death penalty for any of the illegal immigrants that kills American people or police officers or something? Did he not say something like that? Were you okay with that, Packy? Pat?
Am I okay with the death penalty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. Me too. You're awful quiet over there, Packy.
I'm just listening to you guys, man. I'm trying to keep up.
I'm sorry.
I do wonder though, Pat. You guys were talking earlier about who was it? This Department of Defense that said that there is a huge chance of China and Russia actually influencing riots and stuff in our country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was the director of the National Intelligence Department.
So what happens in that situation? I mean, let's say we look at like the summer of 2020 and the riots and burning down buildings and all that kind of stuff. Do we call in the National Guard for that kind of stuff? Who defends the buildings against rioters? We just let them burn it down? Police forces usually
I
can't
think
handle
local
that.
law enforcement, and then the local states can call in the National Guard or ask for the National Guard.
Is that kind of like the military?
No.
Kind of is, though, isn't it?
Kind of,
But that was part of his
except
quote,
under the
though.
Constitution, it's entirely different.
But that was part of his quote, though, is he said that he
because
used the National Guard.
It's the Georgia National Guard.
But that's was part of his
it's
quote.
the South
is that
Carolina
just
National
make sure to
Guard.
read all of Trump's quote before you quote him. Just don't pick and choose little pieces of it. He talked about bringing in the National Guard to the cities.
No, he talked about bringing in the military, period.
We'll have to look that up and see.
So if you got people burning the cities down, you have to bring the military in to calm them down. I mean, I don't.
You can't do that,
I
Stephen.
ain't got a problem with that.
It's unconstitutional.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any difference if you got a problem with it or not. You can't do it according to the Constitution.
Oh. Well, you can bring in the.
No, I actually totally agree with you, Pat. The only issue I have with this is that people like to pick and choose what they want to use in the Constitution. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, now we're going to follow the Constitution, but we're going to take your guns away too, though. While
Yeah.
we're at it, like
And you
that's,
can't-
I just want you to be. I want everybody to be.
Well,
You can't have
Don't
any
use-
meat
don't
tweaks.
use it when you
you're
want
right
it.
that a lot of the country's problems are because we haven't followed the Constitution.
You're right. Yeah.
And one of the problems we got is they've defunded the police, so they ain't got enough cops out there to actually. And I really do. Do y'all? I mean, okay, let's think about this though. I mean, if the election goes for Trump, do you not think that there's going to be mass riots in the big cities, the blue
No.
states? You don't think so?
No.
Really?
Would you like to make a bet about that?
Yeah, I know.
Maybe that's more hopeful than it is logical.
I hope not. But
But I hope there aren't.
has it ever happened before?
What? That we've had riots in the big cities? Hell yeah.
Okay. So why
You
do
don't
you think?
remember the civil rights movement?
Why do you think this will be any different?
Because I don't think it's a civil rights issue.
Wow.
Hey, remember that one time they all rioted and burned down buildings? That was for a convicted felon too, wasn't it?
Yeah. George Floyd.
Yeah.
George Floyd. Oh, I better not say that. They'll take us off YouTube. George Floyd's a hero. Can I say that now we're back on YouTube? Just quoting that.
Saint George Floyd.
I don't know, man. I really don't. I look for people to get out and protest. They ain't protesting. They just get out there and hoard everybody's stuff out of their businesses just because they got an opportunity to. and they're going to blame it on Trump. And then you said, like you said, China was actually going to try to instigate this, right?
I didn't say that. I was just reporting the report from the National Intelligence Department that said he was concerned about China and Russia influencing people, causing riots, either directly or indirectly.
So you believe that's going to happen?
Stephen, did you not hear what I just said? I reported what the director of the National Intelligence Agency said.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, they don't have to be reported. Now, I don't care who's behind it, especially China. China, we need to get China out of here. I don't think they ought to own any property or anything else myself. But, you know, to think that there's not going to be riots over this election is just naive in my mind. You
think if Trump loses, there's going to be riots?
Nope. Why do you think I'm crazy about that?
I think you got so much bias you can't see the forest for the trees.
I know all of my folks that I know.
I mean, if you can say that the Democrats are going to riot,
right.
I would think that there's enough passion on the Republican side that if it's a passion that's driving the riot, it would happen regardless of who wins.
But here's the difference, man. All the folks that I know that's voting for Trump, they got to get up and go to work next morning.
Do all those guys on January 6th had to go to work? He would have been better off.
Well, a lot of them were at work. They were guiding them and giving tours through the Capitol.
Yeah. Through FBI,
but you don't believe video evidence. So I got you.
I forgot that part.
Yeah, they were guiding them right this way, sir.
Then once they get them in there, you're under arrest.
Stand up here next to the podium.
Yeah, put down your chicken.
The, barricades to the police. Right?
Yeah, put down your Bible and your chicken plate. Y'all going to jail. You brought a Bible and a chicken plate into the Capitol. Y'all going to jail. Y'all broke.
Throw them in the gulag. But speaking of the Constitution, there's a lot of people there that
hit somebody over the head with a sign that you're trying to sell them.
There's a lot of people down in that gulag that are down there without due process, without the right to a speedy trial. There's a lot of very serious constitutional issues that you should be concerned about, Pat, if you love the Constitution like you claim to.
Yep.
So
if there were constitutional issues, I would be concerned.
If you'd open up any other browser besides Axios News, then you'd see it.
People have got lawyers, they got attorneys, and if their attorneys are not doing the job, it's not the fault of the Constitution.
Well, you've heard Kamala.
Oh, so it's the attorney's fault.
Yeah, that's what the problem is.
I got you. Not the government's fault.
Who's supposed to represent them?
Well, they're attorneys, yeah, but it's not their fault if the government is not obeying the Constitution.
But you have heard her say that she's going to buy back guns, and she's going to what's the other thing? If you've got a patent, she's going to do away with the patent where they can take your patent, and they're going to. I mean, it's just one thing after another. She said and said and said, and then all of a sudden, she has changed on every issue that she's on. She's actually in the middle now, or she's trying to be in the middle now, until her teleprompter crashes, and then it's 34 days. 34 days.
That's something you and I can agree on.
Yeah. So do you actually think she's smart? I mean, Harry Vaughn over here thinks that she's so intelligent, she's smart, and she's done all this great stuff, which I don't know what it is. Do you actually think this woman is a very intelligent person?
I think she's intelligent. I don't think she's very practical.
You got any proof of that? I'm sure the American people would like to see some proof.
Wait a minute. What kind of proof would it take?
Just something besides
to indicate your intelligence.
What has she done for America that is good for America, that is an intelligent? What did she do?
Doing something does not necessarily a reflection of intelligence.
But when you're in that job to do stuff, yes, it is.
What job was she in to do stuff? The vice presidency, as one of the politicians said, is equal to a warm bowl of spit.
Yeah, but was she not the border czar?
Well, she didn't do anything there.
Well, I mean, was she not the border czar?
She didn't do anything there.
Well, I'm just saying.
I mean, we could keep doing this, Stephen. You could just repeat. Yeah, she was the border czar. She didn't do anything there.
Well, you said she was intelligent.
No, she did. Lack of doing something is doing something, Pat.
It's have to do with activity.
Oh, I got a job. I might want to do it. Maybe I should do something about all these illegals coming across the border because I'm the border czar, because I'm so smart. Yeah.
She's gotten jobs not because of her competence.
How does she got her jobs?
I can't say it on the radio.
She knows
Yeah,
how. She knows.
FCC won't like that.
Yeah, she knows how to.
Let's just say Willie Brown.
Oh, Willie, you had to drag Willie in here again. Oh, Willie.
It's the reality of the situation. People want to look the other way, but it is the reality of the situation.
Hey, let's not get too far behind here on our comments because we always get behind and we're like, what are they talking about? So where we got on this thing, Puddin'? Can you bring that up before we go to a break?
I can. Amy Tatum says, "Yep, we all got to work. I can't afford not to. Thanks, Camel."
There you go, Camel. Camel. We all know where she went with that. What else you got, Puddin'? I see some more above her.
Well,
his teleprompter stopped.
yeah, stop.
Must be pro Pat comments on there. We have to ignore.
Yeah.
Where'd our mouse
Don't be
go,
reading those, you know.
Where'd the mouse go? The mouse even left the building.
Yeah,
It's like I'm out of here.
Where is
He
the
threw
mouse?
the mouse on the floor so he couldn't get to the good ones.
We'll read them when we get back.
We'll do that. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick break. All righty, we're back with you, and our thing is our YouTube thing up here. We're watching this froze, but Pat Malone's still moving around.
I think it's the government.
It's
man.
the government.
They're freezing us, but they're keeping Pat alive.
Yeah, but I got
They're using those weather lasers on you guys.
I got the comments here. Nate Carter says 2 more, and we'll hit 900 subscribers.
Nice. Go to our YouTube channel and hit subscribe.
Susan Musser says, and 1.3% on YouTube now. So I don't know what she's talking about. So there you go. There we go with that. But anyway.
Pat, do you know what the Insurrection Act of 1807 is?
No, not right off my hand.
All right. Just look that up before you start talking about laws and the Constitution and deploying the military, because it actually is a law that empowers the president to deploy U.S. military and federalized National Guard within the United States under certain circumstances.
Yeah.
This
okay.
act, hang on, this act is a statutory exemption to the Posse Comitatus Act of 1878. And so one of the reasons why, and this can be done without states' consent, one of the reasons why they would do that is for civil disrest.
What was the year that the act was?
1807.
Okay.
The Insurrection Act of 1807.
Okay. So who decides whether or not it's civil unrest?
We'll find out, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, who can implement the act?
Probably Kid Rock, I would say, when it gets to.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know. Maybe RFK would do that one up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That'd give people a lot of trust. I thought you were trying to get the guy elected.
I don't know. I mean,
Can't be throwing out Kid Rock and RFK.
What's wrong with Kid Rock? You got a problem with
Nice musician, but beyond that,
I'm not saying I'm for that. That is a very scary thing, actually.
Not for me, man. I'm a Kid Rock dude.
No, I'm with you on the whole, deploying the military within the United States. That is a very scary thing.
Yeah.
But if there is grounds to do it within the law, I mean, just kind of consider both sides before just acting like it is just this huge fascist person. Because you named off 4 scenarios earlier on in your show. Do you have those in front of you again, Pat?
yeah.
Do you mind? Just do them real quick again.
Yeah.
All right, hang just a minute. Let me change the. All right.
Like these are, while you're doing that, these are the 4 scenarios that could potentially happen on election day
Who
with Congress and
right.
the
No.
branches.
These are outcomes.
Right.
Yeah, the things that would
Okay, one is a Republican sweep. Trump wins the presidency, and Republicans win the House and the Senate.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want the consequences?
I mean, the consequences are really what I'm looking for. Yeah.
Okay, the consequences are it would institutionalize MAGA movement, massive consequences there as a result for governance, civil rights, and international relations.
So we can go on to the rest of them.
Do you want to have time to disagree with these?
Well, if you would, I mean, I think we can kind of sum it up really quick. The rest of them didn't say anything about, socialism taking over our country, but you did mention civil rights.
Yeah, where do you come up with
that?
that?
Well, hang on. He's just reading it off, but I'm just saying things like this are part of the problem. When people just throw these blanket things out there that just says like, well, Trump's going to ruin civil rights. It's like, well, how? How is he going to do that? What has he ever promised to do that's going to take away civil like civil rights.
Yeah, where is that coming from? I'd like to know where that actually, how they're figuring that the civil rights.
And the rest of the things just kind of, hang on just a second. Sorry, Pat, hang on just a second.
How about the day of violence for the law enforcement will cure our crime problem?
What?
I mean, isn't that a civil right violation right there?
What is that?
Say it one more time.
The day of violence that was advocated for our law enforcement people to cure the crime problem?
I would exaggerate on that just a little bit where we can catch up.
I'm sorry. If you're not caught up with that, then you're ignoring it.
I think that I'm not. The day of violence, we've got violence every day. I'm ready to see some of it in.
President Trump said one of the ways we could deal with violence is if we could just have one day of extreme violence by law.
No, whoa. Do you want to maybe look up the real quote, dude? You are so full of misinformation. You guys like to talk about misinformation. You are so full of it, dude. Come on.
Whoa.
Here comes the apologist.
No, it's
Go
not.
ahead,
I'm on
give
your
us the
side.
apology.
Listen, dude, I'm on your side when it comes to obeying the Constitution. But I think if you're gonna say somebody said a quote like that, you need to get it right, man.
Yeah, where did the
you
quote
don't
come
need-
from?
Like, you actually look up what people said besides reading the headlines on CNN and MSNBC.
I gave you an example.
No, you gave us just a BS answer, man. You gave us a
Where
false
did you
quote.
get that quote from? That's what I don't know. Where'd that quote come from?
That's the reason we can't have a discussion because
Exactly.
if I say something, it's always
No,
BS.
yeah, because if you make something up, then it's BS. You can't. If you're gonna read and say he said
No.
XXXX, you got to actually say what he said. You can't.
Okay. I didn't have the actual quote in front of me.
Oh, imagine that.
There were no quote marks around what I said.
Oh.
All right, so we move on.
I think it's in your best interest.
Yeah,
if we
what else you
move
got?
on.
What's the next scenario?
I'm not going there.
Come on, Pat.
No.
So Kamala wins.
I mean, we'll stay there for a second. We'll go. If you look at one rough day of what he's referring to, I mean, let's say there was civil
Oh, geez, I'm
pause.
sorry.
Okay,
it's
hang
one rough day.
Let's say there was huge civil unrest and there's buildings being burned down. What do you suggest happens, Pat? Like, what is your President Pat Malone? What does he do? Let the states deal with it. Is that kind of what and it's just this massive buildings being burned down, cities being destroyed like they were. Tim Walz's wife smelling the tires,
yes,
opening
loves
her
that.
windows. Man, what do you do? The states
That's
don't.
what the Constitution says.
Well, actually, no, it doesn't. I just told you about the Insurrection Act of 1807, where it does allow for that.
Okay, what about militias,
Okay,
man? What about
okay, but
militias?
that would be in a case where the entire United States is having civil unrest. If you got civil unrest in Minnesota and Arizona and 5 or 6 other states, that's a state problem. That's what the 10th Amendment is for.
Do we still have militias?
Yeah, it's called a National Guard.
I mean, don't we have like private militias called, what they call the private ones? That's the ones I like. What are they called?
They're called gangs.
No, they're not. They're called, what is it called? Vigilantes. Yeah, vigilantes. Yeah. That's what we need. More.
Doesn't the Constitution call for a right to bear arms and a well-regulated militia, Pat?
Oh,
Yes, it
there's that
does.
word I was
Yes,
looking
it
for.
does.
Pat.
Yes, it does.
And they call them gangs.
What would we do as a well-regulated militia? Would we just sit around and count our army men? What do we do?
That's what we do. Yeah, we get around.
Well, if you don't know what to do, it's not well regulated.
What do you mean by what does the Constitution mean by well-regulated? How do you interpret that? Some people would argue that it means like well-regulated by
The
the
government.
institution.
Mm.
Some people, if you look at the vocabulary of how the word was used back then, well-regulated would mean well-formed and
Yeah.
by regulation.
If you got a problem with the Constitution,
I don't have
ask
a
the
pro- I love the
Supreme Court
Constitution.
what it means.
I ain't asking them.
That's how the
Well,
government works.
You claim to know. I mean, you claim to be all for it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to define the Constitution. That's the role of the Supreme Court.
I think there's a lot of militias.
You're allowed to
out
have an opinion.
there. Oh, we got somebody
I
calling.
do have opinions, but I'm not going to boast my opinions here.
Why not? This is what we're here for, Pat.
Yeah.
Well, this could be awkward.
I
We're
voice
sit
the
around and stare
opinion,
at each
you
other.
tell me I'm stupid. That's the script.
No, that's Harry. Harry's the one tells you you're stupid.
Like one of those daytime soap operas.
Who we got, Puddin'?
We got Bob M.
Oh, Lord, Bob, not Bob M. I thought I told you to block his
Puddin',
number.
Puddin', you're going to get in trouble for letting him
Yeah.
through.
I thought you blocked his number. Well, he's here.
Thanks for blocking it.
Yeah.
Pat and I are well-regulated militia. How about that?
No, I don't want Pat on my team. I can tell you that right now.
He'll throw glitter at him.
Yeah. He'd probably break a hip running them high-heel shoes.
I wonder if the Black Panthers are like a well-regulated militia.
There you go. How about that, Pat?
Yeah, probably.
There you go.
Here's one for you from last week. It's kind of a follow-up. I didn't really know about this, so I thought you might want to know. Remember when Pat said they got like 7 days in California past the voting day to get their vote in?
Yep.
Well, how long do you think that is in Georgia?
How long is it in Georgia?
Well, I didn't think there was any, but if you have a postmarked vote and it's in by, 3 days, you have 3 days past the postmarked date to have your vote counted in the state of Georgia.
If the post date is the day of election, right?
Yeah, your letter's got to be postmarked by then. In other words,
Right.
say it's an army guy, like an army guy is in
Right.
Korea,
Mm-hmm.
and he mails in his ballot. It can be counted till Friday.
If it's postmarked
So-
by the election date.
Correct.
Right. I don't think California's like that. 7 days. I mean, if it's postmarked.
No, it's the same thing. It gives people the, and let's be upfront about this. My guess is probably about every state has it, but it does make it kind of hard because I guess you have to know how many, voters that you could possibly have in the military before you could call an election. So that's all I'm saying about it. If it's real close, you might have to wait till they count them absentee ballots, man, which they can't do till after midnight on voting day because not closed out till then, right?
Unless you're in Atlanta down there where you get 300,000 come in at 2:30 in the middle of the night. Yeah.
All right, man. Just wanted to give you a shout out. I'm glad everything went good over there in Andrews with the veterans. And
It was good,
that's
man.
One day.
It was great.
You
You
guys
didn't
take
come?
care.
Why didn't you come?
I couldn't. I was tied up with the animal here.
Oh, that is. We don't talk about that. All right, man. Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir. You take care. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thought we was going to get a little out of hand there for a minute. Ooh.
You
All right.
tied up with an animal? Is that what he
Let's
said?
leave it. Just leave that alone.
I'm
Just
not
leave that
leaving
alone,
one
Pat. He's
alone.
on your side.
I think we ought to explore that more. He was
Let's
tied
just
up
leave
with
it.
an animal.
Leave it where it's at. What we going to give away, Packy?
Hey, we got all kinds of stuff to give away.
I'm ready.
We're going to give away today a free coffee and a free prize from Conservative Grounds Cafe, our good buddies over there in Mineral Bluff, Georgia. So give us a call. Pat's going to get a trivia question for us. You ready for that, Pat?
I am ready. Do you
care
want
to
it now?
Let's go ahead and do it now. That way Puddin can get somebody on the phone when we come back. Sound good?
Okay. Which U.S. skyscraper gets struck by lightning the most?
Which U.S. skyscraper gets struck by lightning the most? 706-379-9770. All righty, folks, we're back with you. RJ Fine Cigars is bringing you this part of the show on Welborn Street over there in Blairsville, Georgia. They got a walk-in humidor, which is absolutely humongous. They got expert guidance, so bring your friends, make new ones, and they actually got a place over there where you can put your smoking jacket.
You get a private locker.
That's cool, ain't it? Private locker over
And it's
there.
right there next to Granddaddy Mims, so you can kind of fill in the blanks there.
There you go. And you can smoke inside. Yeah, don't have to go outside to smoke. So, yeah. So, go
like
by.
the good old days, right?
Yeah.
Steve?
Check out RJ Fine Cigars over in Blairsville, Georgia. We appreciate them doing that. We'd appreciate it more if they'd bring us some fine cigars over here to test.
But I will say that some of you think about smoking indoors and it's the full of smoke, whatever. But they if you ever
I
go
love
in
the
there-
smell of that.
I actually do too, personally.
Yeah.
But if you go in there, they got these massive fans though,
Right.
huge air filter that brings
Right.
the air in and out and stuff like that. So it's it's not as smoky as you would think it would be.
Oh, that's great. Ain't
Very
no
cool
doubt.
place.
And they got all kinds of cool cigars, man. There ain't no doubt. They got all kinds of all over the place. So My wife, she smokes them Cuban cigars. She likes the Cuban cigars better. I don't know why, but I'm gonna try some. I'm gonna take her some of these other ones.
And Pat and Harry smoke them Virginia Slims.
Yeah, that's what they do. The 125
In a cigarette holder.
Who we got, Puddin'?
Oh, we got Steve Cluchet.
Ooh, Cluchet. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, we doing good. What are you doing today?
I'm working.
Well, I know, man. You got to get her out there, son. You got to give half of everything you make to the government. So just know about halfway through the week, just forget it.
Yep.
You working for somebody else then.
That's the truth.
So what is the biggest skyscraper in America? Was that the question, Pat?
No,
No, that ain't the right question.
no, that's not the question. The U.S. skyscraper that gets struck by lightning the most.
I'm going to take a crack at it. The Eiffel Tower.
I'm with you, man.
Well, the Eiffel Tower is in France, so it's not really a U.S. skyscraper.
I
It
thought
might be in his country, though, because he's Cluchet. That sounds pretty Frenchy to me, doesn't it, Steve?
I think so too.
You want to try again?
How about? No, I think it's the Empire State Building.
No, that's not it. But
Give you-
that's a pretty good guess.
Yeah.
We'll give you another guess.
The Twin Towers.
Oh, you missed that one.
No. Go west,
Go west, young man. Go west.
about halfway.
Oh. I don't know.
The Marriott.
I can't think of it.
All right, man. We're going to hang up on you then and see if we can get somebody else in here.
All right.
All right, the phone
Thanks,
lines
Steve.
are open again, 706-379-9770. Again, 706-379-9770. What is the biggest
U.S. skyscraper that gets struck by lightning the most.
across the okay, give us a call. Let's know. The U.S. skyscraper gets hit the most, and it's not
Not
the
in
Eiffel
New York
Tower.
City.
We got the Eiffel Tower is done, and it's not in New York City. 58.2%. We got 6,228 voters as of Saturday. That does not include absentee voters in Towns County. Do you have anything on Blairsville?
51.5%, and that does include all the absentee ballots.
That
And
does
Towns
include?
would- yes, but towns would be 58.4 with the absentee ballots.
Well, this okay. All right, who we got, Puddin'?
We got Ronnie Maxwell.
Oh, Ronnie, he'll get it. I guarantee it, Ronnie. What you doing, man? We miss you.
Oh man, I miss y'all. But yeah, I've been listening to the program this morning and enjoying it. But anyway, I'd like to take a stab at it. I was going to say the Sears building, but I think it's called the Willis Tower in Chicago.
Ronnie, you got it.
Right
buddy.
on the money.
Both names. That's true. You're a winner.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. You'll fit in just right down there at Conservative Coffee.
Well, I've been wanting that white privilege card something bad.
I'm telling you, man, it's helped me out tremendous amount. Yeah, it's helped me out tremendous amount. So
I need all the perks I can get from it.
I'm with you on that, man. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So let me ask you something. Now, you're pretty level-headed. Do you think that if Trump wins, there's going to be rioting in the blue states?
Nah,
You don't think so?
I don't. I don't think if Trump wins, there'll be rioting. If he loses, I don't really think there'll be rioting because, like I say, I think most conservative voters are very level-headed and respect the law.
Right, but you don't. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be some outbreaks across the country of some crazy stuff going on if he wins.
Oh, I'm concerned. I'm concerned about it. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I say, I think, like I say, I feel like conservatives are law-abiding citizens, and sure there'll be a bill. I mean, if he was to lose now, like I say, I think there'll be a lot of disappointment, and I think we'll have to get prepared for the worst for our country. But I'm hoping and praying he wins.
Well, I'm with you, man. I've done bought like 500 cans of Spam. I'm ready. I'm ready. Yeah.
You eat them as fast as you can buy them, though. That's the problem, man.
Oh man, I got her stacked up. Yeah, I got her stacked up. So anyway,
I hear you.
all right,
Well,
man.
Ronnie, we sent your name over there to Conservative Grounds. It's in Mineral Bluff. Check it out. Very cool place with a like an Oval Office. Get your picture with Trump and Reagan and send us the picture.
Yeah, we want the
All right,
picture.
will do.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All right, thank y'all for what you do.
All right, Pat. Who you got on tomorrow?
We got Lauren Albans, who's the director of the Rollins Planetarium. They got some unique shows coming up for the holidays, so we're going to be talking to her.
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Halloween coming. What, Thursday?
Halloween is Thursday, right?
Yeah, we always have a big trick or treat at my house. We have heard of folks come in up there and get candy and eat all kinds of goodies and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a problem at my house because I ate all the damn candy that I bought. Now I have to go back and buy more.
Yeah. How much candy did you buy, Pat?
Well,
Ain't nobody coming to your house.
Three big bags.
I'm just going to tell you, when people pull up at somebody's house and they got a Kamala Harris sign out front, they ain't coming to your house, Pat. They're not coming. They're like, we know.
I do not have a Kamala Harris sign out front. God, Stephen.
What?
You're like a brick wall talking to. You know?
I just know what your neighbors are saying. Yeah.
You just know what my neighbors are saying.
All right, folks. Give More Insurance a call. Let them give you a quote, 828-389-4000. And go by and check out RJ Fine Cigars over on Wellburn Street in Blairsville. I think you're going to find that's going to be good. We appreciate y'all listening today. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel because we get 2 more subscribers and we've hit 900. And that's 100 away from our goal, right?
Yep.
All right. Y'all be good.